Justice isn't real, and it's not real. It's made up by people. If justice was real, I would not be able to cut off his head, like you're saying earlier, without being smitten down on the ground. The only right that exists that humans have is the right of power. The only reason no one chops off anyone's head or takes stuff all the time is because there's a threat of the government going to jail or that other person killing you. That's why in the past, people did it all the time, because the strongest person was able to be king, or the strongest person had the most men following him, and you were able to do whatever you want because it was within your power and no one could stop you. Nowadays, it's more modern because we have government and whatever, and none of these people can chop off each other's heads to shoot each other because there's a real threat. The only right that is inherent in the universe is the right of power and control. There is no inherent justice. If I was the strongest person in the world, or if I was able to do whatever, I could kill thousands and thousands of people and nothing would happen.
Exactly. It is an honor to meet you. Thank you for your consistent thinking.
The logical
now,
right there.
You've been very logical, and I love your logical thinking. That's why Mao said, morality comes out of the barrel of a gun. He understood what you said. He understood right and wrong are determined by the powerful. So who's got the power? They define right and wrong, and their definition wins. Now, I am radically different. I am convinced that even if I had 10 guys with machine guns behind me, and I said, okay, guys, start machine gunning them to death, and that is just, that is loving. I am convinced that although I have the power to impose my definition of justice and love by saying machine gun these people to death, I would be wrong. Because I am convinced that justice is a real value, objective, independent of my opinion, independent of Mao's opinion, independent of the powerful people's opinion. And I don't care if Nazi Germany would have won World War II and would have wiped out all Jews. I am convinced that the slaughter of Jews is absolutely evil. I don't care how much power Adolf Hitler has, or Mao. You see, why do I say that? Because my experience of life is a sensual experience. I watch gravity pull a person down from the top of the building, but I also have moral experience. And I observe objective morality through my experience.
Such as?
Such as, when you stole my backpack, you should not have done that. That was really wrong. When you told that racist joke, that was degrading of a person. Really objectively wrong. Not wrong because I'm a liberal, white, enlightened guy, but because all human beings have equal value and dignity because they're created in the image of God, and my conscience informs me that your racist joke is very demeaning of another human being.
First of all, not all people are created equal. That is, really, that would be nice if people were created equal. But it's not true. There are people who are born retarded and they die when they're a year old. They're not equal to me, and physically or mentally or whatever. You can say spiritually because we can't, that's not measurable. It's kind of made up, and there are different feelings towards it, but it's not real. There are people who run faster than other people. There are people who I will never be as smart as. There are people who are better than other people. There are people who are less moral, or they do more evil things, or they're less rational, or they're insane. People are not created equal. I'm sorry, that's not how the world is.
Okay, all I can say is it's an honor talking with you because you are intellectually consistent. You're absolutely correct. If there is no God, all people are not created equal. If there is no God, it's the rich, powerful people who are more valuable than the weak, poor people, or it's the intelligent people who are more valuable than the dumb people. You're absolutely right. But if there is a God who has given us the gift of human life, and he's given us innate value, then I don't care how uncoordinated you are, I don't care how fat and ugly you are, I don't care how low your IQ is. You're still a human being created in the image of God, which means your value has nothing to do with your GPA, it has nothing to do with you being white or black or Hispanic or Asian, it has to do with God's creating you with that value. You see the radical difference in the worldviews here?
I understand.
Well, I like the way you are so consistent in your thinking. That's refreshing, so thank you.
Okay, so you say man is created in the image of God.
Yes.
I don't remember who said it. I think it was Aristotle. But he said if the horses could paint, surely they would paint the image of horses as gods or something. Why would God be like us? We suck. Like, people are horribly inefficient. We don't do very many things well. We eat and breathe through the same hole in our body. We can be eating and it gets stuck and we die. Why don't we like dolphins? Why can't we breathe and eat through different holes? That's dumb. Why would he look like us? And you know, it's funny, if you go to paintings in Africa, God, what they paint as God, he's black. And if you go in Asia, he's Asian. And a European, he looks like a white guy with a beard.
Yep.
So why would we be in his image? Why?
You make great points, sir. You're right. Now, the Bible says that God isn't a white man. God isn't a black man. God isn't an Asian woman or an Hispanic woman. God is spirit, which means God doesn't have a body. So you're right, sir. If anybody draws God as a white man, they're wrong, which means Michelangelo, ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Big God with a big beard, barrel chest, big arms, white man, that's God. No, that ain't God. God doesn't have a body. So what does the Bible mean when it says that he created us in his image? It means rational thinking and creativity.
Why would they not say that he created us in his spirit? Or maybe not use the word image? Because to me, that's pretty clear. When you say image, but
So,
I think it would be
what does
better-
it mean to be created in the likeness of God? It does not mean to be a white person or a black person or Hispanic or Asian. It means God, who is a spiritual being, created us with a mind, creativity. God's the creator, and he gave us incredible gifts of creativity. It means God, who is love, has given us the ability to genuinely love. It means that God, who is just, has given us a conscience, and we can distinguish between right and wrong, good and evil. That's what the Bible means when it says we're created in the likeness or the image of God.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So if he created us in his image, the universe is really, 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 really big, right?
You bet.
Really huge.
And
It's
really old
massive.
also.
It's very, very big.
Yeah.
And the chance that other intelligent life does not exist is also really, really, really small. And I'm not saying God doesn't exist, because maybe he does. And we obviously haven't found alien life yet, okay? But I'm going to make a little comparison here. So chimps are the closest thing related to us in DNA, right? They're 1% different than us. And the smartest chimp can do some sign language, okay? We have 3-year-olds who can do sign language. And that difference comes from the difference in 1% of DNA. That is the difference in chimps and people, right? Okay, so say there's an alien race anywhere, doesn't matter where. And the chance that they exist is really, really high, because there's just too many, it's too big for it to not happen.
Yeah.
Now imagine that they're 2% in the same direction that we are from the chimps, away from us in DNA.
Yeah.
Our greatest accomplishments, like a chimp's greatest accomplishment learning sign language, would be absolutely nothing. Their toddlers of that alien race could also do that, and they would be vastly superior to us in just about every way that you could think of that's measurable. But why wouldn't the universe be created for them? They're better than us if they exist out there, which they probably do. Why would he only create the universe for us in his image? That makes no sense.
The Bible never says that God created the universe for us. Never says that, so you don't have to worry. And if there's alien life out there, no problem. Bible never answers the question. Is there alien life or not?
Okay.
It's totally silent, so there's no contradiction between us discovering aliens and the Bible. No contradiction at all.
But how come it's
That's
us,
the
though?
same thinking for dinosaurs. The Bible never says dinosaurs never existed. So if the evidence is dinosaurs existed, that doesn't contradict the Bible.
Do you not feel a sense of loneliness or importance in the universe that maybe...
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that has driven me to Christ.
Yeah, and-
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
There's
like-
a sense of
yeah.
loneliness. The question is there a God out there who gives a rip about me? And Jesus Christ says yes. And he actually loves you. And he's drawing you to himself. G.K. Chesterton put it beautifully when he wrote, "The man who knocks on the door of a brothel is really looking for God." God has hardwired us in such a way that we long for intimacy. We long for relationship. And the amazing message of Jesus Christ is God desires you and me to live in relationship with him. That's incredible.
Okay, then why make it so hard?
Why make it so hard?
Ah,
Okay,
it's really hard to find God anywhere.
it is?
Yeah, I've been
I
looking.
have the other problem. My problem is I don't see how many if somebody could miss him. So help me understand.
Okay.
Why is it so hard for you to find God?
Show me where he is.
Show me where he is. Wait a second.
Or you can
Show me where love is.
I don't believe in love either.
You don't believe in love either.
I think that you can like someone and you can really be fond of someone, but in love in the romantic terms that people really, really like, people are meant to be and stuff, it's not real.
Oh, I agree with you. No problem there. Okay, when I say love,
Okay.
I'm talking about what motivated Mother Teresa to work among the dying in Calcutta,
I have
India?
a good answer for that.
Okay,
I have a
what's
very
your
good answer for that. For example, if I saw you were dying,
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good person and whatever. I would do whatever I could to help you. Now, most people would do it because if they didn't help you, they would kill themselves on the inside. If you walk along a man and you see him suffering or whatever, and you don't help him, it's better for you physically. You're thinking of yourself, really, because if you didn't help that guy, you would go home and you would cry for days because you're like, I could have saved his life, I could have done this, I could have done that. And so Mother Teresa is a very, very kind person, and every person that she saw was in trouble. She had to help them. If she didn't help them, it would be hurting herself. She would be
Okay.
killing herself if she couldn't do that.
Okay. Why do you think you experience guilt then? What I hear you saying is, if I don't help somebody and they're really hurting, I feel horribly guilty.
It's a defensive mechanism for biology that encourages us to work together as a thing so we can survive as a species.
It's a defensive mechanism for biology,
Yeah, to survive as a species.
to survive.
It's much better for an entire unit of species to work together to survive. It's a lot easier for that species to survive. It's worked pretty well for us so far. We're the most dominating species on the planet. And the most successful species that live the longest are ones that travel in herds or whatever. The ones that are alone a lot die easier or they are going extinct.
So what you're honestly trying to tell me is that because I am simply a biochemical animal, that's all I am.
Well,
The
maybe-
reason that I help handicapped people, the reason I give my money to starving people is so that I can sleep at night and not feel guilty.
you can feel better. It makes you feel good. It's the same reason you do anything that makes you feel good.
You've
You
got
like
to be
do
kidding
it.
me.
You don't. So
You
when you
think the majority of Americans give away all their money to help starving people so they can sleep better at night?
Yeah, it's feel good. Why would you not?
Really?
It does it the same reason you do anything else. Why do you eat your favorite foods if you like the taste? Why do you help people out? Because it
Well,
makes you
then
feel
I got to
good.
tell you guys, it is an honor to be at this fine university. So what you're saying is, all of you are studying to figure out how you can help hurting people.
You're studying.
Is that what you're telling me? Come on.
No, you're studying. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You're studying to get a degree, to get a job, to make money, to survive, so you can feed yourself, so you can feed a family,
Thank
so you
you.
can be happy.
There we go. So self-absorbed. We're not here at this fine university to figure out how to feed starving children. We're here how to figure out how to make money for ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, Jesus Christ wants to change that. Jesus Christ wants to help us to understand that the mind is a gift from God. It's a good gift. Use it well. Study hard to develop that mind so you can make this messed up world a better place to live, more like heaven will be. Which means, get a good job, make lots of money. But then ask yourself, now that I have this money, what percentage should I give away to help those who are starving to death, and what percentage should I keep for myself? See, when you put your faith in Christ, it changes your whole view of reality. So instead of helping starving people because I feel guilty and can't go to sleep at night because they're starving to death, no, the motive is love.
It's the same
Because
thing.
I understand God loves me, I'm going to love others, and I'm going to help feed starving people because I love people, not because I can't sleep at night because guilt is bugging me.
That's the same. It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. It's a radically different motive. Now, sir, listen to the letter of Dr. Martin Luther King from a Birmingham jail. All the white Protestant ministers in Birmingham, Alabama said, "Shut up, Dr. King. Segregation is good." Why? Because the culture, the great state of Alabama, says segregation is good. Dr. Martin Luther King, in his letter from a Birmingham jail, wrote, "There is a law above the law of the great state of Alabama, and that law says that all people are created equal, and therefore segregation is wrong." See, those are two radically different worldviews. One worldview says culture defines right and wrong. It's just subjective. The other worldview of Dr. Martin Luther King says God is just, he's good, and because he's good, his will is good, which means segregation is wrong, because it's a violation of the innate value of human beings created in the image of God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but okay.
So the obvious question is, do you think God exists?
I have no idea, and I think that anyone claiming to have an idea is totally irrational.
Okay, good. Why? Why is it irrational to believe God exists?
Because there's no way to know. You haven't died or whatever, and there's evidence, not really against it, but it makes it not likely. Like, if God created the universe for us, as a lot of people say, right? Why does almost everything kill us everywhere? Why can't we can't even live on a lot of the earth because it's all water. We can't live on water. You can't live anywhere in space. Almost every planet everywhere will kill us. And there's a lot of, I don't want to go into the God thing because that'll last forever. I think it could go either way, but I think that it shouldn't matter anyway. It shouldn't matter either way whether or not you believe in God. You shouldn't do anything that's going to hurt anyone else, because then that gives them the right to do that to you. And that should be good enough. You should help people because you want them to help you. That should be good enough. Why does God even have to come into it?
Okay, well, it's real simple, sir. If I just have 60 to 80 years to live on this planet, and then I go to the great fertilizer pit, then I want as much gusto in my 60 to 80 years as possible. And if I need to steal his wallet in order to buy a house in the mountains so I can ski, there's nothing wrong with that. I've got 60 to 80 years to live, and then I become fertilizer. So I want to pack as much fun into my life, so I'm going to steal his stock portfolio, I'm going to steal his money. Why? Because I don't have enough money to buy a house in the mountains to go skiing and snowboarding. So I'm going to steal it. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
I never said, that's the opposite of what I just said.
But is there anything wrong with that?
I just said don't hurt people because they can hurt you. I just said
Why?
don't.
I'm not going to be stupid enough to steal his money in order to be caught by the cops, okay? I'm going to manipulate stuff so I'm smart enough that I can steal his money without getting caught. So answer the question, sir. Why, if all of life is 60 to 80 years, and then I go to the fertilizer pit along with everybody else, why should I not steal his money so I can buy a house in the mountains so I can ski? I love to ski. Why should I not do that?
If you can get away with it, and no problem, then there's nothing in the world stopping you.
Thank you. Nothing wrong, right?
Nothing wrong with the universe stopping you doing it.
Nothing wrong with me stealing. Because
according to the universe.
Exactly, according to the universe, where there is no God. But if there is a God who created him with value and me with value, then it's absolutely wrong for me to steal his stock portfolio and then buy a house in the universe, because it's being disrespectful of a human being with innate value. See, that's the contradiction of the two worldviews. You've done a great job, and I can't thank you enough, because you're consistent intellectually.
Yeah, now how come God has to be good? How come God can't exist and he can kind of be okay? Maybe he's bad sometimes. Maybe he likes to do stuff for fun. Maybe he likes to hurl meteors and blow up planets.
Good. It's possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question becomes, first of all, you don't believe there's a God, right?
No, I don't believe either way. I think that there's possibility either way.
All right.
Because I don't know, because I'm not smart enough to know.
Okay, well then let's go step by step. Let me tell you why I believe God exists,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you why I think God is good.
Okay.
Because those are two questions you've asked, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, the evidence, not the proof, the evidence that God exists is the following. I found this watch lying on the side of the road, driving to school.
Are you going to do the watchmaker thing?
Yeah.
No, okay, the watchmaker thing is silly, because the watchmaker thing is silly because this is the only thing we're ever going to see. Like, the universe is so perfect that it has to have been designed, right?
There is too much design in the universe, in your human eye, for me to conclude it's a chance accident.
The design comes from millions and millions of years of trial and error and evolution. If that was true, why would there have been evolution in the first place? If there was design, why wouldn't he have just gone right to it?
Because he does what he wants, when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it.
That's the best excuse that any religion has, is because God says so.
That's bias, sir. That's not intellectually honest. That's bias.
Well, no, it's not bias.
That's
because
the best excuse.
No.
That's being objective.
No, it's
God
not.
can create any way God wants to.
I don't really believe it that much. Because technically, if God was real, then yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He could do it through evolution if he wanted to.
Sir, it's real simple. If I prepare a delicious meal, set it before you, and then say, there is no cook, that's ridiculous, right?